All right, guys, here is a look at lesson 13 that was presented in class on Wednesday, December 2nd. So first we will start with our opening. In the previous lesson, you read chapter 15, engaged in discussions around structure, character, and point of view, and you learned about intensive pronouns. In this lesson, you will read chapter 16 and analyze how it fits into the overall structure. You'll also participate in a language dive. Learning targets for today. I can analyze how chapter 16 fits into the overall structure of the novel and contributes to the development of the setting and plot of Two Roads. I can analyze the impact of the author's use of language variety. So in our entrance ticket, we're taking a look at intensive pronouns. It says, rewrite this sentence inserting the correct intensive pronoun in the Zoom chat box. So we've got Possum blank used a phrase that was the sort of thing Pop would say. And we correctly identified that Possum himself used a phrase that was the sort of thing Pop would say. You can eliminate the other two because Possum we know is male, therefore him is the correct pronoun, and their selves indicates more than one person. Possum is just one person. All right, then we read chapter 16 together. And you have a GIST vocab assignment, the words for today, taciturn, agile, cavity, and discloses. After that, we moved on to the language dive. So there is a video here that you can watch about the language dive that I would encourage you to watch, but we don't have enough time. Everyone made a copy of the language dive so that we could work through it together before submitting it. And so the first part was I correctly reassembling these chunks into a meaningful sentence. And we ended up with library here ain't worth an owl's hoot. And what does that mean? It means that the library is no good, not much to choose from. Then we focus on the word worth. What do we mean when we talk about what something is worth? Worth means something's value. So what is something's value? Then I skipped the picture of the owl's hoot because I just don't find it important. Then we moved on to complete the sentence frames to describe how much things are worth. Depending on the context, you may wish to use figurative language. So in one block, we came up with a new bike is worth $100, whereas to me, friendship is worth a mansion in Beverly Hills. You could say $1 million. You could say all the diamonds in the world. We could get creative with hyperbole here. Complete the sentence frame to explain why it's useful or important to study other language varieties. The language varieties presented here are worth our attention because they help us to better understand the story and make it more interesting to read. Finally, we had a character window about Possum, where we needed to select a meaningful quote from Possum, provide the context in which he said it, and what it reveals about his character. So we chose from page 173 in my book, is that Possum says, "You're the first I've showed this to." And the context was when Possum was showing Cal his hidey hole. And what it reveals about Possum's character, Possum trusts Cal, and he's good at reading people and wants to be friends with Cal. And we could also say the Possum is trustworthy since he's putting his trust in Cal. After that, the final part of our lesson today, we looked at this discussion prompt. How does the way Cal responds to Possum in this section help to develop our understanding of Cal's character and his point of view toward Possum? This is referring to when Cal acknowledges that he is taciturn and very quiet and serious and keeping to himself. However, he opens up to Possum because he wants to be friends with Possum, and he knows that friendship is a two-way street. And so he chooses to talk to Possum and open up because he wants to be friends with Possum. So it shows that Cal is open, and it also shows that he likes Possum and trusts him. The last bit is to read chapter 17 because that's what we're moving on to tomorrow.